do. And sometimes, you know, when you have those little laws in the games, mostly it's because you're playing the checker game. You know, there's that little adjustment. Now the checkers are moving, right? And can we get the checkers to line up the way we want them to line up to make the plays that we want? And that's really where it is. I mean, you know, we're obviously in that position sometimes during the game where they're going to make us make the adjustments. But I really like what we're doing. That you can obviously sense. You know, the staff's been together for 3 years on the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot of things that is already happening in motion before the thought comes up and being verbalized, you know, that you can see that we can make adjustments pretty quickly in a game. And that part of it's really good. So that, to me, it's very versatile because it can hit you and attack you in a lot of different ways.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, what's Urban like to work for in a week like this?
Like this one? These are the good weeks, to be real honest with you. Because you know what? Everybody knows what the price is. What really, man, and as a head coach, he has a job to do. It's the weeks where would you be complacent are the worst weeks to work for any head coach. You know, because what happens is he's not going to allow complacency. So weeks like this, are you kidding me? It's all business, and here we go. But you know everyone's really focused from the manager up. Everybody knows what's at stake, and everybody, you know, loves the opportunity to go up there and compete. I mean, really looking forward to it. I mean, we're all wired to go do this, right? I mean, this is what it's all about. Let's go play.
Yeah, Tim. With that said, last year I was asking Urban what gave you guys problems defensively from them. Obviously, that 4th and 2 play, Jeff and Danico Allen didn't quite match up and stuff. How often do you bring those things up this week or show?
Yeah, I'll tell you, if I show it too many times to Jeff, he'll jump off a building, so I'm not going to show him that play very often. It took me a week to bring him back down to earth after that game, I can tell you that one. Here's the thing, you know, you look at it and you look at it, and defensively, when you look at what they're going to try to do, the one thing about Michigan State over the last several years, they don't change much. They are who they are. What they do is they know their defense extremely well. There's little intricacies in that play. For example, you know, they went double rifle blitz. They hadn't ran it all game long. That was the only snap of that in that game, which, you know, obviously we practiced against it, and the doggone blitzer didn't blitz what he had really shown in practice. I mean, we've shown him in practice in other games. Because I think the blitzer made a mistake, to be very honest with you. And then all of a sudden he recovered, and Jeff wasn't able to recover with him, right? So you look at it and you say, and that's how fine line it is when you play a team like Michigan State, because I'm going to give you all a really insight. They're going to line up and play 4-3 quarters, and they're going to press the #1 receivers, right? I mean, what week haven't they done that in their entire last 9 years or 10 years, however they've been at Michigan State? That's what they're going to do. The thing is there's a lot of little intricate battles going on about how they're going to play their front, how they're going to line up, and where they're getting their rotations in their secondary to get run fits and those things. That's where the battles will come in, and that's what makes it all fun. That's just the strategical part that you absolutely love, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
As an offensive staff, though, do y'all look forward to another shot? You know what I mean? I mean, y'all got them up there.
You mean like when you lose a game, you look forward to playing another opponent? I don't. I mean, at them?
At Narduzzi.
Yeah, you know what? I think absolutely we're all competitive. You know what I mean? I grew up the youngest of 5 boys. Whenever I lost one of my brothers in a game, I was going to go out and play. Let's go play another one. You know what I mean? So I think we all have that in us, and you know, we do know the challenge, Joe. I mean, it's a good football team, and they're a well-coached football team, and they know their stuff very well. Again, it's a staff that's been together for a long, long time, and they know their system. You know, they know what they're going to do, and you know, our job is to execute a game plan really flawlessly.
Tim, you obviously know Mark D'Antonio. What do you remember about when he chose to leave Cincinnati to go to Michigan State? What do you think of the program he's built there?
You know, in reality, I was in a car with the suitcases in a car driving towards an airport, and then I called Mark and said, Mark, I can't go. I'm going to stay at Cincinnati. So I was supposed to have gone with him. So I do know Mark very, very well. The thing that's really interesting about with Mark and that group, they have a unique way of saying, okay, I'm going to put the chip on my shoulder some way. There's going to be something come out of this press conference. I'm going to guarantee you they're going to put on a bulletin board somehow, some way the world's against them. I mean, they do. That's been their MO since the day I've known them, and they're going to do a great job of playing that out. Mark is a phenomenal coach. They're really good people, and you know, the bottom line is that they're going to have an element of toughness, and which they bring to the day. They're not afraid to surprise you with some things that you haven't seen, and you know, and obviously, you know, whether it's a fake punt, a fake field goal, or one of those things, they're not afraid to bring that out and expose it to you. And you know, they're gonna. Those kids have been in some really big games lately, and I mean some really big games, and they don't, you know, they don't back down. So I think, and Mark does a great job of preparing him to play in those kind of games. So I look forward to the challenge. Obviously, you know, he's a long time and will be a lifetime friend. And you know, the bottom line is it's, you know, it's time to go play the Spartans, though.
Having worked for both of them, what's the difference between Mark and Urban?
Oh my gosh, it would take a long time to talk about that difference. Only because everybody is different, you know, and I've had, you know, the unique pleasure of working for a few different people, and, you know, with Mark Antonio and Brian Kelly and you know, Urban Meyer here in the last 10 to 11 years. And, you know, they're each unique in their own way, and each are great coaches and special people, and they all know how to do their job very well. And it would take a long time probably to sit down and explain all those.
Tim, you have the luxury of having two good veteran tight ends with Jeff Hireman and Nick Van Nett. If something would happen to those guys, how close is Marcus Ball being able to hold the fort down there for you guys?
You know, he's really made strides. You know, he started on 2 special teams on Saturday. Very pleased with his results on those special teams, and you know, he's made a lot of strides. He got, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 plays in the game Saturday, and he didn't grade out, you know, as well as I'd like for him to. But you know, that's part of the learning and experience, and I get it. There's really an improvement in him. I mean, his off the field stuff has been fantastic. His on the field stuff is improving. You know, he got a point where, you know, you guys all know by the media is Coach Meyer's pretty particular about who he runs down on kickoff, and he was the starting number 3 on kickoff, which is, you know, a phenomenal thing for us. So you know, it was a great challenge for him, and I'm glad he got an opportunity to do that.
Sam Hubbard, do you think his future is at tight end? And do you have some arguments with Coach Johnson, like some fights?
Well, there's going to be a lot of arguments over great players. The bottom line is whatever's going to be best for the team in the end, that's where he'll be, because he's a great young man, works at the game really hard, will dedicate his life to being a great Ohio State Buckeye, and where that all ends up, I don't know. But I do know this, there will always be a fight for a good player.
Does he rep with you guys, or does he rep with the defensive ends?
Predominantly right now, he's more going with the defensive lineman. Yeah, but we spot him wherever we need him in practice, because scout teams, you know, I don't think sometimes that gets lost in the message. Is it scout teams this time of year are absolutely huge, you know, and how well they perform against you is really how well you're going to play on Saturday. So we put him where we need him to get the job done. Hey, thank you.